Friday all day today.
You made it through another week.
That's right. And a busy week it has been, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, very busy week. Thanks for joining us. We're happy to have you here on this fine Friday afternoon. It's a little cool outside, but sort of to be expected, isn't it, Keith?
It's December.
Yep, that's right.
December 1st.
And it's not going to get any warmer for a few months yet.
Nah, absolutely not.
So, welcome back. We had Thanksgiving break. How was your Thanksgiving, Keith?
It was pretty good. I went to Wichita, seen my family for a little bit, got away from the office, got away from the desk, ate some food, did some bowling.
Oh, you did?
Did a little bowling.
Well, that's fun. Cool.
A lot of shopping.
Yep.
Black Friday.
Black Friday? Oh, man, I avoid that like the plague.
Should start calling it Broke Friday. So
Broke Friday.
That's what it's like.
Hey, Jennifer, what'd you do?
I didn't really do anything.
Oh, you're hiding. You're hiding. Jennifer's hiding. What did you not do?
I really didn't do much, so
You had to have eaten.
yeah, I ate.
Yeah. Did you have lots of turkey?
Not really.
You're not not a Turkosaurus?
Nope.
No. Did you have ham?
Yeah, I had a little ham.
Yeah. Yeah, we went up to Estes and had a really, really good time up there. It snowed every day. It was beautiful. And then I had one full day without my cell phone. It was in my drawer. I left it there.
Oh, man.
It was perfect. But yeah, went up to the park and we had the whole fixins because Peggy loves to cook. And we had turkey and ham. It was a good time. Good time had by all. And so we got some stuff going on this week on our live stream. And what do we got going on, Keith?
Well, a little bit of therapy. Greg is
Not mental health therapy. Well, maybe for some.
In a way.
For some people, maybe, yeah.
But we'll talk about technology therapy.
That's right. That's what we're good at.
Yep.
The other kind, not so much.
No, we'll get into that. And then, we'll show you guys the difference between a bad network and a good network.
Yep, there's a big difference. One gives you a big headache and the other one not so much. And then we're going to be very sad to bid something goodbye. It won't be a person, just for the record. And then we're going to talk about some Christmas deals we got going on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Most of the month of December. So.
That's right. We promised her we would talk about that, and so we're going to, and then the regular on the way out stuff. So hope that you'll hang out with us here, and So we're going to get right into what?
Let's go ahead and before we get started with our stuff, let's give you guys a little taste of what HonorBound IT has to offer you.
The Residential Protection Plan by HonorBound IT is the best support and service for home computer users. You get top-notch antivirus, backup, and remote support. Plus, if you need in-store service, it's free. Visit us at 109 Norris Avenue, McCook, or call 877-686-6642. Your digital peace of mind starts here.
With the laptop?
Welcome back. We're going to talk a little bit now about network therapy. And there's sometimes networks just don't quite work right. And we have to do some therapy. We had an issue this week and last week, right? That we dealt with. It was one of those things where the business owner had a very big headache, right? Why was that headache there, Keith? Why did they have a headache?
Well, according to their words, there's a rat's nest of cables underneath this desk.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's not uncommon, to be honest. There's a lot of places that do have rat's nest of cables, and Some people can live with it and deal with it and, hope for the best. But I think in this situation, the rat's nest had evolved into more than a mess than what it was worth.
It was causing functional problems. And like we got there and quite literally we had to pull out a piece of paper and it was like a ball of twine, wasn't it? That some kid got hold of. It just went like this with it all. And we had to like trace out every wire and go like, what does this belong to? And the poor person that owned the business, they were losing all kinds of time because they didn't know what was wrong. And we ended up finding like routers behind routers behind routers. Now, for people who are not, tech savvy, that is a very bad thing. It's extremely important to try to keep those types of things to a minimum. And so, yeah, we got rid of maybe 90% of what they already had and replaced it with something else.
Yeah, 90%. And that's not an exaggeration.
No. Because, Keith, did you have a miserable week this week?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a little bit. I mean, it wasn't terrible.
Not any more miserable than any other week.
Oh, come on now. At least most of the time you don't have to deal with like the insulation itch.
Oh, it didn't. Geez, don't remind me.
It was pretty grody, but we pulled out a lot of mess, and
You're going to get rejected, my friend.
Oh, and
My phone is putting calls through.
Oh man,
Turn on the old D&D here in just a second.
Kind of forgot to do that.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep. Hang on a second. We will call you back later. And sorry about that, folks. Like, this is one of those things that's on our list to do, but we didn't go over our list because, quite frankly, we worked till the very last minute here.
Life of an IT guy.
Oh, I don't know how to do that. Here, Keith. Here. Do it on my phone. Oh, you rock. I'm afraid to do that because a lot of times I forget to turn it back on.
Oh, yeah.
Don't let me forget. So anyways, let me show you what a bad network looks like. And I'm just going to give you some examples that I've seen over the years. Jennifer, you want to put the laptop back on? So this is one of them that we saw. How do you like sort through that sort of stuff and troubleshoot it? You can't find anything. And all of these labels here everywhere. It's like crazy stuff. And then I'll show you some more here.
At least they're labeled, that's the...
Well, no, it wasn't labeled the way that it should be. Quite frankly, this here, in this network here, there was people's names on things, but they hadn't worked there for 10 years. And like, how do you find anything? And you see stuff not plugged in. And you see over here, I mean, it's kind of a bad picture because it was on my old phone. It's just like a terrible, terrible, terrible mess. And sometimes you find this sort of stuff up above the rafters when you get to moving things from one room to the other. Lots of cable everywhere. Your HVAC guy decides they're going to work on the HVAC and they trip over your cables. How's that going to be good for you? And a lot of times, folks are going like, well, I just want it to work. I just want it to be functional. Well, how long do you want things to be functional? And here, last but not least, one that's plastered all up against the wall. At least they, kind of had something a little bit braided up there, but yeah, pretty terrible nonetheless. So let me show you what a good network looks like. And I'm a little partial because we actually did a lot of this work. And here's a fine example of one that we did here. Nice and neat. Got some color coding. The green was for the phone system that they have. The black for, network device. And then we could tell what things were based on the colors of the network. Orange is inner device connectivity, and then red for internet. And you see here, we have a cable color code so that if something happened to us, there would be the ability of anybody else to be able to come behind us and understand what exactly is going on. And then this is like a little bit of a larger example of some of the work that I've done in the past. A little bit bigger network that we had. And then this is my own closet in the front before when we were on CenturyLink. We have, it looks pretty close to this, but not quite as pretty. But typically this is what our stuff looks like. And then this is the job that we did this week that, it was all scrambled. Everything was everywhere, all over the place. It looked terrible. Couldn't find nothing, couldn't solve problems. And now, we have everything. It's all in a nice, neat stack. All of the devices are all the same brand so that we can manage them in all one single pane of glass. Everything all labeled, color coded properly. And then we hand everything to the customer. So if something happened to us, they'd be able to either take care of themselves, call us because this person is on a plan now. And down here, you can see that we have like a little failover device. This is one of those clients that needs a failover device because everything they do requires two things. One, if their internet's out, they can't close their tickets. And that's a very bad thing, when you're selling expensive food and you can't close your tickets out. Secondly, you can't run credit cards if you don't have any internet. Most businesses are like that these days. So if the main internet goes down, which is Great Plains, they have Great Plains fiber, but nobody's perfect. Sometimes things go down. Then this little device here flips over and goes to Viero. Everything moves on, and away you go. And then we got a battery backup. Got a battery backup here. Got a battery backup in one of their serving terminals. Bad things happen to good people. Everything is all basically up. No electricity in the place. No worries. We got battery backup long enough for them to close their tickets out and close their sales out. They're not losing money. So there's a lot of reasons, besides something looking attractive for having things done correctly. Anybody can work behind you. Anybody, like if something was to happen to us, God forbid, anybody can come behind us and figure out what's going on, right? And we have good equipment that can all talk to one another. So this is kind of an example of one of the devices that we manage, and everything is all in there. All of the switches, all of the access points. There's a little switch. This is that building bridge that we talked about before. I'm really proud of this one. You see the link quality? It's like 100%, dude. That thrills my heart. You remember that if you watched like the show before, we had a picture of Keith on the roof. That was what Keith was doing. But yeah, we've got like about 8 of these now. Yeah, 8. Yep, working on the 9th. But all the same, and the beauty of it is we can run it from our phones too. You get things, so bad things happen. Something gets disconnected, we get like a little alert on our phone. What do? We deal with it. Customer most time doesn't even know any better, right? We just took care of their stuff. It's how we roll. So if you're having network problems, you have internet issues, give us a call. This is what we do. We want to solve those problems. Don't put up with crap, because it's costing you money, costing you headaches, inconvenience. But worst of all, it can cause your customers inconvenience, right?
Yeah, that's one of the things we always say. The side effects of these things is your reputation for your business.
Yep.
Those intangibles things, you don't see the cost immediately, but
No, it all rolls downhill, right?
One of the things you said about that thing, the last one, the project we just did was, there was cables, everywhere and things like that. Well, there was devices everywhere. There's devices here and devices there, and there's this thing over here. And, part of this project, the big thing, getting into everything into that rack, all centrally located and cabled and properly managed, all into one place. So now everything's not under a desk here or on a counter over there and things like that. And, that actually helps the client. So now they can go back and look and say, oh, yeah, everything's right here. I don't have to crawl under this desk and pull these wires. They know where everything's at. And that helps, the other vendors that we partnered with on this project.
We had two other vendors, didn't we?
Yeah, the people who manage the security system, we actually helped them and get the cables put into the network, all centrally located, so everything's there. The internet's all running back there, so everything's in one spot. And that, in my opinion, that's probably one of the biggest things of it. And then the other thing we did was cleaned out the old stuff. Sometimes when you come across these places, they change things. They get new providers, new vendors, new services, whatever it is, and then the people who bring in the new stuff, they just leave the old stuff there. And, over time, that stuff just adds up. So, one of the things that we do is we try to pull out all the old stuff. And I think there's some regulations that go along with that, trying to keep the old stuff out.
Not very well followed, but there are.
That's true. But we take those out. And I think in this situation, the 3 different point of sale services that they went through, just laying around. So we probably pulled out, close to 2 dozen, maybe 3 dozen old cables and stuff that were just sitting in the roof, taking up space. One of the devices we found was still plugged in.
Yeah, still sucking power for over 15 years. And it was an older system. I'm sure it wasn't sucking zero.
No.
So, I think one of the things that really thrilled me the most is the one lady who does every day she comes in, she mops the floor. She's just happy that she didn't have to navigate around all this, rat's nest, as they would call it. We really did feel good about it because I think we honestly, it was for me really rewarding because we left somebody's life better. And that's what we aim to do all the time. We want to make your life better. We want to make you more profitable. We want to make you happier, because that's even more important than profit, right? Some things are worth more than money, and happiness is one of them. My opinion, anyways. If you like to be miserable, I'm sorry, that's on you. But yeah, we learned something new today, something very sad. What was it, Keith?
Well, you told me that popular software vendor, QuickBooks, is now, you said they're discontinuing their QuickBooks desktop
and Premiere. Yep.
The one that everybody's come to know and love. If you're doing your books, your bookkeeping, your payroll, and you're using that classic QuickBooks desktop,
those are numbered.
Yeah, you will not get any more updates. You will not be able to buy that program anymore. So
no, unless you buy the enterprise, and that starts at $1,500 a year. So yeah, just a little heads up. It's going to be in 2024. I can't remember the exact date. It was the one that started with a J. I can't remember the January or June. One of the two. We'll update you. But yeah, it's been like an old workhorse, and a lot of applications are going that way, right, Keith? They're going more web-based.
Yeah, almost everything. I mean, even the Microsoft, you can kind of see the writing on the wall sometimes when they got this new Outlook. This is probably the one that I seen the most. And so, QuickBooks is going away. The other one that I know about is the Windows Mail. So that came default in I think Windows 10. I don't know if it was in Windows 7 or not, but Windows 10 and Windows 11, they come with the default the Windows Mail app. And in January, if you're using Windows Mail, you'll see a little spot that says toggle on new Outlook. And, you You might as
Do
well,
it. Don't wait.
you might as well do it now and get used to it, because
Yep.
eventually it'll happen automatically, and then you'll be surprised. But, a lot of apps are just, I think it's easier to manage for the vendors and the companies. And, the data is probably the biggest thing. Where you're using these desktop apps, everything's saved locally. You go and you start using web-based apps, everything's saved in the cloud. You don't have to worry about storage or losing data. As long as you can get on another computer, log into that account, you'll be able to do your work.
Well, and I think they're trying to do that to make it a lot easier for people that are moving to the Microsoft 365 world. I think they probably learned their lessons from, remember that Outlook Express?
Oh, yes.
And then they went to Windows Mail, and then, they discontinued Outlook Express, and then there was no easy way or almost no way to move your mail and stuff from Outlook Express to Windows Mail. And I think they're trying to learn from their past and make it easier for you to move to the Outlook, which looks a lot like the full version of Outlook. It's a little bit scaled down. But again, it gives you that natural progression from the home version, the free to the freemium to the paid versions of Outlook. And, it's just going to be less for them to support.
Yeah, less for IT guys to support too. They are.
Yeah.
They like less.
Well, and that's the thing is like, and we learned something yesterday that, with Microsoft 365, they have like a 1.5, what was it? How big was that? Was the archive?
Oh, the email
Was that
archive,
terabyte?
1.5 terabytes of email archive.
Yeah.
So that's not the trash can. That's not the inbox, the deleted. That's archive. And there's actually, you see archive, and I use archive mail all the time where I just drag it and drop it into archive if it's something that, hey, I might use this later. I don't use, the problem we see a lot of people is they keep their inbox or their deleted mail as like a file cabinet, so to say.
Hundreds of gigs, tens of gigs of,
And that fills up pretty quick, especially when there's attachments on your emails. Larger emails with attachments will take up more storage on your email and reduce the amount that your inbox can hold. And so one of the things that you want to watch out for is, if you're using the Outlook, you can actually toggle over to see. And I don't know if you see this on the web app. I have not looked for it, but I do know on the Outlook desktop app, you can actually, click file and you can see your mailbox storage, and, you can see whether if you're using Microsoft 365, you get 50 gigabytes. You can see where I'm only using like, 10 gigabytes, 5 gigabytes. You keep a clean mailbox.
that's still a lot.
It's still a lot. But if you're like some people who, don't delete mail or have used their Outlook for years and years and years, they're getting up to, 40 plus gigabytes
Well, our
in their
account
mailbox.
clients are like that. And the problem with that is that when you go to load Outlook up, it's got to index all that, 30 to 50 gigs of data, and it bogs down your inbox. Well, if you use your archive, then you can keep it thin. And, there are ways of making rules so that if you have emails that are older than a certain date, that it automatically goes to the archive. And then, your Outlook loads up quicker. But for a lot of our clients, that have larger inboxes, we've just been recommending that they use the web app. It looks, acts, smells as we did. What was that, 2-3 live streams ago? Is almost identical to the actual desktop app that I stubbornly hang on to. But yeah, everything's going web based, dude. Yeah.
Yep.
Hard to take. That just makes a whole different set of things that we have to manage for you. But, we're able to roll with change. That's what we do.
Yep. And we see this all the time. And that's kind of the, the benefits of working with a partner like us is, we're seeing the changes. And so we're on top
Every
of that
day.
stuff. And then when people call and say, what happened? Hey, we've actually seen this happening for at least a month now,
Or we know where to look to find out what happened, because sometimes like these vendors will jump stuff on us, get one by us before we, notice they've made a change. But, because you just can't keep up. There's no flipping way. We try, though. We try hard. Yeah, and we got some Christmas deals, right?
Christmas deal. That's right.
Yeah, we got some discounts.
Yeah, monitors I think are discounted. Computers are discounted. You know, I think laptops and all-in-ones $50 off. I think is what
Yep.
the deal was. Even our services, our security on our shoestring and our residential protection plan. You know, those are the services. Protection plan residential, you get antivirus backup and remote support, and that's $300 a year. Limited time only. You can get that for $50 off.
Yeah, well, then we had one lady in here this afternoon. We worked like right to the very last minute, as usual. And what was she, like $100 off?
Well, yeah, she was looking at a computer.
Yeah.
And, she was asking about the security and what she should do. And, that led into the conversation
been
about the
$100.
protection plan and say, well, you can save $50 on the computer, $50 on the protection plan. That's $100. And so that's a nice dinner for her.
Yep. So, yeah. Well, we're coming up at the end of the hour here. I guess it's time to do our cat thing before we
Oh, yeah.
groove our way out of here. And I was looking for pictures of networking stuff that we did. And this is a picture of the yellow cat. That's my pride and joy, Jamie. If you've been watching the show at all, he is my pride and joy. He is now 18 pounds.
Oh, my goodness.
He's a big fat cat, huge paws, little tiny head. And that's Tux. He's no longer with us, being really tolerant of his little brother who thinks that Tux is his mother. So on that note, happy cat pictures for you this weekend. Thanks for joining us. And we're going to kind of celebrate our way out of here.
It's party time, people. Hit the lights.
Try 'em.
If you guys don't have one of these cool little disco light balls, I mean, they are the greatest. So
They are.
everybody needs to get one.
That's right. Yeah, I haven't tried this on my cats yet. I'm sure they would be like all over the place.
Oh my goodness, I've tried
Trying to find
it.
all these lights. Like, what? It's like over.
Kind of looks like Christmas lights, like holiday.
It
themed.
does. Yeah, the colors are about right. Almost. Yeah. Well, they
Blues and reds and greens, and
That's right. Christmas is for all colors. So.
that's right.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. And Keith, what do you got going on this weekend?
Nothing. My wife is doing the craft show at the Frosty Flannel at Barnett's Do-It Center, North
okay.
Highway 83 in McCook.
Yep. When's that? Tomorrow
That's
morning?
today and tomorrow. And I think it's going
Okay.
until like 7 or 8 o'clock tonight, and
Oh,
then,
really?
and then it's going tomorrow. So a lot of vendors, people that do their homemade crafts are going to be there. So
Yep.
I may visit that and see what she's up to.
Yeah. Hey, Jennifer, tell us what you're going to be doing.
I think I'm going to that craft show.
I honestly know that I'm going to be doing at least one thing, and that'll be doing the Nutcracker Suite.
Ah,
Yeah, Graceland's in the nut. She's a little clown, little mouse. She likes that little dance thing that she does.
that'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit fun. I think my stepson's coming. We're going to have enchiladas, one of my favorite things.
Yes.
Chicken enchiladas. Beautiful stuff. So thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate that you came, and we will see you